Hey guys, sorry about this terrible camera setup. I just feel like it's time to address this and make an update, basically explaining what happened. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I just feel like I need to update because I made a video announcing our pregnancy and kind of giving you guys some information on what had happened in the last year. So this isn't going to be, or in the last few years, this isn't going to be like a super long video like that one was, but this one is just to let you guys know that unfortunately we lost our baby. Um, we had a stillbirth at 22 weeks, and we found out that it was a little girl. Um, and it all happened really, really quickly. It was just after my anatomy scan. Pretty much, it was to the day, 1 week after my anatomy scan. Um, yeah, so we had a little baby girl. Her name is Miriana, Miriana. She was 1 pound 1 ounce and was 11 inches long. I went into labor on induced, obviously, on July 25th at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and she was born at 11:01 a.m. on July 26th. Yeah, so I was in labor for about 19 hours, active hard labor for, I want to say, about 4 of that. It was labor itself, because she was so small, wasn't that difficult. It was still painful. Near the end, obviously, it was a lot more, like, the contractions were a lot more painful. But actually giving birth wasn't very bad because she was quite small. We were lucky enough to get to spend about 6 hours with her after she was born. So yeah, we lost our little girl, and it's been just over a month now since that happened. I went back to work about, actually both Josh and I went back to work about 2 weeks after, by choice. We both felt like we needed to get some normalcy back because everything just kind of goes weird when you lose someone, especially when you go through something like that. And yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and kind of let you guys know that we had lost her and just announce her and who she was, and her name and everything, and let you guys know that I'm doing good. As good as you can be, obviously. There's good and bad days. I think that comes with any loss. We do know that she was sick, so it wasn't just like a random freak. Well, it was a random freak incident, but it wasn't like my body rejecting her. It wasn't like anything like that. I didn't go into preterm labor. She actually had a malformation, and it was to her brain, so because of that, she didn't survive. But yeah, so it's really sad and it's really terrible, but Josh and I think, are doing really, really good. And I think, honestly, it all comes down to perspective and what you choose to think about and how you choose to deal with what's happening. I think it's very easy to fall into depression or fall into. I think the doctors told me that they were concerned about postpartum depression after I had her, but obviously I had really bad days. I think the first week after I was home, nothing had really registered fully for like the first few days. So it kind of took a little bit for everything to kind of sink in, and Obviously, I had some postpartum stuff I had to deal with after giving birth, that not everybody goes through, but some people do. And yeah, so that was, oh, thank you very much for your kind words. Um, but yeah, so it took a little bit to kind of sink in, and now it's just kind of like you can either keep being depressed and keep letting it like consume you, or you can choose to live your life for the better, because that's what she would have wanted. And um, yeah, I just try to think about the happy memories, you know, the 22 weeks that I did have with her, and getting to see her. And she looked exactly like my partner Josh, which was really cool. So every time I look at his face, I see her face, because she had the same face, which um, is just, it was so cute. So I try to think about those things, and you know, try to make things a little bit happy. Like I've set up like a little area for her and her ashes, because we did get her cremated, and we've got a memory box with some of her things, and we go and get her flowers, and I bought her a little bumblebee little thingy, because she was born in July, and so she's like my little summer baby. So everything that's summer related now just reminds me of her, in a good way. Obviously there's still some sadness that you can probably hear in my voice, but overall I think I'm doing really good. um, we got some genetic testing to make sure that this won't happen again, or, well, I guess to find out whether or not it would happen again. And luckily, they told us that it was not genetic, and her chromosomes were fine, so it didn't have anything to do with that. Unfortunately, it was just like a one-off, one in a million type situation where she just didn't form properly, and that was probably from conception. They couldn't find any other reason why her brain wouldn't have formed properly. So um, that's just what it is, unfortunately. And we will never forget her. We'll, you know, I'll never stop talking about my daughter, and talking about stillbirth, I think, is something that people still have a really hard time with. I know since it happened to me, you know, people kind of give you the general, I'm sorry for your loss. And honestly, a lot of people, like friends and family, didn't reach out to me, didn't talk to me beyond that. I had visited with a little bit of family afterwards, and you can definitely tell that it's difficult for people to talk about. Um, and I understand why, because it's a very sensitive topic, but at the same time, for me personally, and everybody's different, but I want to talk about her. I want to talk about what happened and be open about it, because I don't want to act like she didn't happen. And that's just my personal opinion. For some people, they don't want to talk about it at all, and it's, you know, super traumatic to the point where it's not that they don't want to acknowledge their child, but it's very difficult to talk about, for sure. Um, but I don't want to stop talking about her, in my experience, and maybe one day I will go more in depth with basically my labor and delivery. Just at this stage, I'm not ready to do that. Plus, I think I would like to discuss it more with my partner and see if he's even okay with me talking about it. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and update you guys. We are hoping to try again soon. There's no reasons why we can't, according to the doctors. Everything with me checked out. I healed very quickly. I didn't have any complications. And then after finding out that it was not a genetic condition related to her brain, because that was the only part of her that was affected, we've basically been given the go-ahead if we wanted to when we're ready. So we do plan on doing that soon, and I can possibly do some TTC vlogs if you guys are interested, but you know, that's just kind of it. That's just what's going on. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to this very sad update. But you know what? It's okay. She's in a better place. She's not suffering anymore, and we're doing good. So just, you know, if anything, just think about her because, you know, it's okay. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching.